Ready, go. Quick, Key, quicker, quick. Come on, Key, let's go. Quicker, let's go. Give me that 1-2, give me that 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Chop, 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 chop. Burst to me. Put that hot sauce on it. All right, good job.
You know what, NFL, if you don't give Mr. Chuck Smith, Dr. Pass Rush, his flowers, damn it, I will. Congratulations to him, just getting these boys ready in top shape and ready for the NFL Combine, including Georgia's own Jordan Davis. He's been working out with Chuck Smith as of lately, and as you guys saw on yesterday, this man is having a miraculous, and that's a huge word for a huge man. So fast, so strong. I know everybody has got him circled in on their chart as far as him. I can imagine where he will land in this draft at this moment, because he is definitely a top prospect, and he's definitely needed, especially on the Falcons roster. Now, of course, Jordan Davis has mentioned that he is losing some weight. He was playing at a weight of 350 pounds last season, and it looks like he is getting swift and faster as he is losing the weight. He wants to play at 330 pounds in NFL coming up. So congratulations to that young man and all the others that are out there working hard just as much as him. But let's go ahead and get into some of the interviews that these Falcons are having, as we are definitely trying to develop our roster, figure out what we want to draft as far as our first pick in the draft as well, along with the other picks. You know, the Falcons had some formal interviews with several quarterbacks, wide receivers, edge rushers, and running backs on the following Monday. Now, speaking of running backs, we do have a couple of big decisions to make regarding that running back room. Of course, as you know, Cordarrelle Patterson and Mike Davis, their security on this squad is in question right about now. You know, I already know we may not be able to keep both. But as you know, Patterson has had a big season with us, as he had a decade-long career in this, organization. And he actually is campaigning to stay in the Atlanta Falcons organization. But of course, do we want to keep him going as he wants to retire a Falcon? You already know that the Falcons just don't have a lot of cap space at this moment. And of course, Davis has 1 year left on his 2-year contract with the Falcons. So it just depends on what direction we go with these two players. Along with, of course, speaking of cap, you already know that Terry has stated that we really can't make a lot of big splashes in the free agency without making some costly signings. There's still a lot of work to do, meaning some players will not make it on this roster as we make some wiggle room, because you already know Terry is good for that. He wants to show that we can add some value to this roster, not only just picking and choosing whatever we can. He wants to get what is best for business. Now, of course, with that, we have 31 players under contract, around $12 million, with a dead cap of $15.6 million, as well as we actually have 23 unrestricted free agents in 2022. So we have some work to do, of course, like Foye, Russell Gage, a lot of these players' values have increased this offseason, and, it's a matter of who we decide to keep. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in this offseason, and I am definitely here for it. And, of course, AFN will be here to give you the updates as we go along. As Terry Fontenot Notes did state that we're not trying to win one more game next year. We're trying to build a championship roster, so long term. He wants to help our roster this offseason, but we also need to look at the future. So what does that mean? Speaking of that, let's talk about Matt Ryan. As you guys know, Matt Ryan has the biggest contract of them all right about now, and the question is, should we be trading him? And they kind of made a note here that trading Ryan before June 1st would free up a little bit of cap space this year, but it will also involve the Falcons taking a $40.5 million dead cap hit, which wouldn't be ideal, according to Over the Cap. on the flip side of everything else, it would save us $28 million in cap space in 2023. Now, if the Falcons was to somehow get a post-June 1 trade done this year, it would save them $23.75 million in cap space for 2022, which is a substantial number. So, with that being said, is it beneficial to get rid of Matt Ryan? Of course, everybody has their opinion, but I think that it's best that he kind of sticks around so we're not hit with that dead cap hit. You guys, you already know we already got enough of those troubles as it is with players that's no longer on this team. You see what I'm saying? So we got to be smart with it. But of course, you know, anything is possible with this new regime. I guarantee that. So let's go ahead and get into a couple of other news out there, as well as let's talk about the Hawks. As you guys know, the Hawks have won some back-to-back games against the Bulls and the Wizards, and they will be playing today. Monday. Let me take that back. They'll be going against the Pistons, and now they'll have a chance to get back to 500 for the first time since December 15th. As you guys know, the Hawks have been kind of inconsistent with their playing, and right now they control their destiny. As you guys know, John Collins has been out hurt. He's been hurt with a foot injury. And as far as what Nate McMillan had to say, is basically about him playing in the last game. He said it was good. It was sort of stiff. He's trying to get back into the NBA movements, cuts and contacts. And so there's no complaints from him, but they'll probably see tomorrow how sore he will be, or this weekend as he go through rehab, and they'll do what they need to do to go from there. So, as you guys know, the Hawks are now in the 9th spot in the East, just a half game behind the Nets, and winning against Detroit on this Monday will kind of get them a little bit more cushion to maybe possibly get into the 8th spot. Now, there is no official word on the update on Kevin Huerter, as he left the game with the left shoulder soreness, but they don't know how serious it is as far as that injury, but it's like, it is what it is. Got to do what we can do with everybody that's capable and healthy enough to try to make it into these playoffs. But anything is possible, like I said once again. But let's go ahead and get into the last bit of news and updates. Let's talk about the MLB. It looks like the negotiations are starting back up again on today. After they failed to attempt a negotiation on last week, it looks like they are going to try to reconvene on today in New York to negotiate a new collective bargaining agreement. Of course, as you guys know, this kind of, opening day on the schedule has been kind of the question, as if will they be having that, or will they be canceling it or not? So we're hoping that they can definitely come in and come down to an agreement so we can kind of get back to baseball. As you guys know, we are still wondering what they're going to do with Freddie Freeman on the the Atlanta Braves roster. Will he remain a Braves, or is he going to be signed on to another team? But it looks like we still are hoping and waiting that there is a baseball season this year. Let's hope and cross our fingers, because we still got to get that banner in the stadium and celebrate. I hope to be there. I want to be there for opening game day at home and celebrate amongst the fans. I know it's going to be packed because everybody jumps on the wagon, but that's okay. That's how we do in Georgia, unfortunately. But I appreciate everybody that's tuning in to me. Of course, I'm going to give you guys new updates of all things Georgia as they come in. Well, Atlanta, Georgia, whichever. You guys know how I am. I'm an all teams fan. So with that being said, this is Maggie T with Atlanta Sports Network, aka Atlanta Falcons Nation as well. And I appreciate you guys once again. Subscribe to that channel and get these channels up to 2,001K. I appreciate you guys once again, and I'm out. Peace.